resources, endowments of nature. Our planet, Earth, has gifted us with many things like land, rocks, soils, rivers, plants, animals, etc. The Earth has an environment that sustains different life forms. Man is also part of this environment and derives many things from it to fulfill his needs. Earlier man was totally dependent on nature for his survival, as his knowledge about the surroundings and his needs were limited. With the passage of time, by means of observation, experience, curiosity, and acquired skills, the early man learned to use and convert these gifts of nature into useful resources. All the objects in the environment which are useful to man and have a value are called resources. Resources. Every resource has its own utility. For example, in our daily life, we use many things like paper, pencil, cycle, water, utensils, rubber, knife, etc. It is only when one comes to know of the use of a thing or substance that it becomes a resource. The utility depends on how much it is able to fulfill human needs. The utility of a thing varies from people to people. The use of a resource also depends on its value. Value refers to the importance of substance to an individual. A book is a valuable resource for a teacher. Wood for a carpenter. Bar of gold for a jeweler. A piece of leather for a cobbler, etc. When an object is not utilized by man, it remains as a stock. A reserve is part of stock that can be put to use in the future with the development of appropriate technology. A fertile land is a resource to farmers, and a rich grassland is a resource to pastoralists. Some of the things available in nature and which can be used directly by man, like rocks, minerals, forests, rivers, etc., are called natural resources. Natural resources are utilized by a man to fulfill his needs. With the passage of time, human needs have increased. At the same time, technological development has contributed to a large-scale interaction of man with the environment, leading to the production of goods on a large scale. The needs and aspirations of the people are not the same and change with time. The development and value of resources depends not only on the availability of natural resources, but also on the needs and aspirations of the people. Accessibility to a region, cost of developing a resource, technological development, and institutions for resource development, etc., also play a vital role in the resource utilization. Some resources like petrol have economic value, while others like the Valley of Flowers have aesthetic value, and the preservation of environment, control on global warming, climatic changes, etc. have ethical value. A material can be called a resource if it, number one, can be changed into a thing of utility. Number two, possesses certain valuable properties. Number three, is available in sufficient quantities. The economic value of a resource changes with time. The use of sun, wind, and water as sources of energy has become possible with the development of technology. With the passage of time and with the development of appropriate technology, many things have become resources. People themselves are the most important resource in the development. The development of skills, knowledge, inventions, and discoveries have resulted in a wide range of resources. The invention of wheel has revolutionized our agricultural tools and implements. Invention of turbines led to the generation of electricity from water, and the use of high-yielding varieties of seeds contributed to increased production of food grains. Thus, man has created a wide range of products to provide better services to the community with the help of the developed technology. The distribution of natural resources in the world is highly uneven. All the countries of the world are interdependent in terms of resource availability, as no country is self-sufficient. Therefore, exchange of resources between countries is necessary for economic development. Types of resources. Resources. Number one, natural, and they are water, air, land. Number two, man-made, and they are buildings, technology, institutions. Number three, human, and they are skill, intelligence, entrepreneurship. Resources are primarily classified into natural, human, and man-made resources. Natural resources. Natural resources are the free gifts of nature and can be obtained directly from nature without much processing. The land we live on, the water we drink, and the air we breathe are examples of natural resources. Man-made resources. Man-made resources are those resources which are created by man using his skills and knowledge. Man has created a wide range of valuable things like buildings, monuments, technology, hybrid variety of seeds, paintings, institutions, etc. Human resources. Human resources refer to the skills of human beings, both qualitative and quantitative, who possess skills and knowledge to make a judicious use of natural resources. People of a country are considered an asset as the economic development of a country depends on the quality of its people. The quality of human beings can be increased through education and vocational training. Skilled and efficient people will contribute to proper utilization of resources. Thus, human beings play an important role in resource development. Classification of natural resources. Number one, based on origin, and they are biotic, abiotic. Number two, based on utility, and they are renewable, non-renewable. Number three, based on development, and they are potential, actual, reserve, stock. Number four, based on distribution, and they are localized, ubiquitous. Number five, based on ownership, and they are individual, community, national, international. Based on origin. Based on origin, resources are classified into biotic and abiotic resources. Biotic resources like plants, animals, and human beings are obtained from the biosphere. Abiotic resources are derived from non-living things of the environment like rocks, minerals, mountains, gases, etc. Based on utility. Based on utility, resources are classified into renewable and non-renewable resources. Renewable resources are those resources which can be reproduced and regenerated within a given period of time. Their availability is unlimited. They are inexhaustible. For example, wind energy and solar energy. Even the renewable resources have to be used judiciously to prevent their misuse and overexploitation, leading to their depletion or exhaustion. Pollution of water bodies in the cities has resulted in the shortage of fresh water for human consumption. Non-renewable resources are those which cannot be renewed or regenerated immediately. With the rapid consumption, they can get exhausted. For example, minerals once utilized cannot be replenished or regenerated quickly and are exhaustible. Coal and petroleum are examples of non-recyclable resources as they cannot be melted and reused. Some metallic minerals like iron and gold, which can be melted and reused, are called recyclable. Non-renewable resources have to be used judiciously as mineral formation takes over millions of years and they are finite. Based on level of development. On the basis of the level of the development, resources are classified as potential and developed or actual resources. Potential resources are those resources which exist in a region but are not fully developed due to inaccessibility and inappropriate technology. These resources can be developed in the near future with the development of technology. For example, Rajasthan has potential for the development of solar and wind energy, but it is not yet fully developed. Actual resources are those which are fully surveyed and well estimated in terms of utilization with the available technology. The Damodar coal fields in India, the alluvial soil of the northern plains, and the oil fields of Assam are examples of actual or developed resources. Reserves and stock are the part of actual resources. Reserve resources are meant for meeting the future requirements. For example, the United States has plenty of oil and gas reserves, but still it imports oil and gas and has kept its own reserves for future use. Stock, on the other hand, are the resources that can satisfy human needs, but human beings do not have the appropriate technology to use these. Based on distribution. On the basis of distribution, the resources are classified as localized and ubiquitous resources. Resources which are confined to certain parts are called localized resources like coal and petroleum, while resources which are widespread all over the world are called ubiquitous resources like water, air, land, etc. Based on ownership. Based on ownership, resources are classified as individual, community, national, and international resources. Individual resources are those which are owned privately by individuals. For example, a plot of land, a car, etc. Community resources are those resources which belong to the community of people. For example, wells, ponds, parks, picnic spots, community halls, etc. National resources are those resources which belong to the people of a nation and lie within the political boundaries and territorial waters of a country. For example, rivers, minerals, forests, etc. International resources are those resources which lie beyond the territorial waters of a country in open seas and oceans that are regulated and managed by international institutions. No single country can utilize these resources without the permission of the international organizations. Mineral resources, fisheries, etc. are some examples of international resources. Factors which help in the development of resources. Number 1, human resources, skilled manpower. Number 2, technology. Number 3, international competition. Number 4, better working conditions for workers. Number 5, contributions from non-governmental organizations. Conservation of resources. Resource conservation refers to the judicious and careful utilization of resources. All natural resources on the earth are unevenly distributed due to relief features, climate, topography, etc. With the rapid growth of population, urbanization, and industrialization, there has been an increased demand for and consumption of resources. This has led to overexploitation and depletion of resources. Conservation of resources is necessary to prevent their misuse, overexploitation, and depletion. The development of the resources should be done without damaging the environment, that too without compromising the needs of the present generation with those of the future generations. This sort of development is known as sustainable development. Conservation of resources aims at the judicious and careful utilization of natural resources by man. In order to conserve the resources, we should: number one, protect them from getting depleted so that they can be made available for the future. Number two, use other substitutes that are available in plenty. Number three, recycle and reuse resources. Number four, preserve the biological diversity on the earth. Principles of sustainable development. Number one, improve one's quality of life. Number two, conserve the earth's diverse resources. Number three, reduce the depletion of natural resources. Number four, respect and take care of all forms of life. Number five, adopt a proper attitude to the environment. Number six, help communities to take care of their own environment.